And what up, guys? Panic here. Oh, hold on, we're gonna let it load for you guys. Don't want to surprise you. What up, guys? Panic here, otherwise known as Panic Picnic. And today we're gonna be going over one of my favorite matches in StarCraft 2, and this is between Innovation and Serral. This is on game 2. This is a little bit of a long game at 45 minutes and 36 seconds. I really wanted to go over this game and do like a little bit of analysis, like kind of how I did with the Serral versus the Tasia match. But I really want to go into this game because it's a really good example of how to play TVZ. But we're going to be doing it from Innovation's perspective. We're just going to be doing it from Innovation's perspective. I think that would be cool for everybody. So as you can see, we're going to go ahead and start it right off, though, really quick. As you can see, in the top left, we're going to be having the current reigning world champion, which is Serral, followed by one of my favorite Korean Terrans, which is, of course, Innovation. Now, it's going to be just a simple barracks, a simple supply depot. That's really going to be the first thing that we're going to have built out of Terran. No real proxies going on. Innovation used to be known for a very standard style of play. In other words, he would just do the same build over and over and over and over again. Don't get me wrong, he was one of the better players in regards to that. But now he's actually switched it up. Now he's actually throwing in a lot more proxies. And his build definitely differs wildly from what he's normally been expected to do. As you can see, he's going to go ahead and throw down his barracks in an actual normal location, which is in his base, so no real cheese is going out from his side, at least as far as he can tell. Just going to go ahead and get his reactor up, and I'm going to go ahead and start throwing out that Reaper, eventually. But other than that, like I said, this is one of my favorite matches. From it, I really love to see like some really strong Terran players. It's one of my favorite races. I'm not going to be like... I'm not going to hide that fact, but this isn't, and I've always had difficulty dealing with a Zerg late game. So let's go ahead and see what he's going to go ahead and do. And there's that Reaper we were going to go ahead and talk about, and there is that orbital command going to go ahead and come right back down. He's just going to go ahead and send this Reaper off across the map. He doesn't really have it in any of his control groups. These are going to be his control groups, by the way. These are not mine, these are his. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this so we can go ahead and see everything. Oops, going to go ahead and put it back on at least. Now it looks like he's going to go ahead and go into the factory. This could be a 1-1-1 build. Very stereotypical for Terran to do, especially since he's already got that second command center already going down on the low ground. Now he's going to pop in. He's going to go ahead and see that the natural's already been taken. And he's not going to see a third base just yet. So it looks like he might maneuver his Reaper around, see if he can get maybe a little bit of harassing done or like a little bit of scouting more so. Because he doesn't want to get roached. He doesn't want to roach all in. Because Lord knows, if you play Terran, that is, at least in my opinion, the most terrifying thing to see coming down your way. He's going to go ahead and finish up his barracks. Going to go ahead and take that out, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and rotate that onto his tech, so he can go ahead and start pulling out 2 Hellions. And he's finally got that CC on his natural finished, and he's going to go ahead and morph that into an orbital. He's got his starport coming up. He's doing quite well. Nothing's really going on right now. Definitely just sending his Reaper back in to see what he can see. He spots the third go down. Not going down, but he does spot the third and can see how far along it is. He's trying to see if he's hiding a drone, hence why he was moving that Reaper around. Now, this is interesting. A lot of people do definitely go for the Banshee play, but he's going to go ahead and go for a Liberator, and again, more Hellions. This is most likely could be a Hellbat push. Hellbat pushes are also really good to transition and out of. But let's go ahead and see what he's going to go ahead and get going on. You can see right now he's making sure he can definitely secure his natural. I actually really like this. I know I'm going to go ahead and... Ooh, actually, let's go and see what he's going to do. A little bit of damage right here. Definitely trying to get some drones up. See if we can do that. Nope. Serral's command will allow him to basically get rid of one of those Hellions, and the other one's pretty much just going to be nice and free. It is not the Hellbat opening that I thought it was going to be, so I do apologize on that. He is going immediately into stim with that Marine, so that's pretty good. You know, it's good for... It looks like he's definitely made the decision that he's going to go bio with that. Oh my goodness, he is all around this map right now. He is sending in a more of a hit squad with 5 Hellions. Let's see what he can definitely get done. Going in from that lower side of that natural right there. Definitely getting 4 drones right there. Make that 6. Make that 9. Make that 11. That spore crawling right there did not help him out. It actually lined it up a lot better for Innovation to get more and more kills than it should have been allowed. That's 15 drones down. Let's go and check the workers. It is 26 drones to 40 SCVs. Definitely Innovation is definitely in the lead on this one right here. Let's see what he's got going on now. Definitely just moving his Liberator around, trying to see if he can finish off some drones at the natural. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot done with that. Serral doesn't have a whole lot going on since he did lose a decent chunk of drones and is currently droning up right now. So he doesn't have a whole lot to really maneuver with, so he should be pretty much fine. Now this isn't actually an interesting attack at a Serral right here. Innovation really doesn't have anything to deal with this. I mean, it is 5 minutes and 38 seconds into the game. He's trying to pump out his production, trying to get more and more barracks down. So this Zergling run by, while very minor, is very deadly because he has absolutely nothing to do with that. He has nothing to deal with that. Hence why you saw him pull the SCVs in I'm going to probably lose this game if it was an all-in, because he doesn't have a whole lot more vision on it. And plus he did do a whole lot of damage to him. But Serral's still getting some more drones. We got 3 on his side. We've got, again, we've got more and more SCVs going on. Innovation side, and we also have got another CC coming down, of course, to point out, and we've got 1-1 on for bio on the way. He's got a little bit more of a lead than Serral right here. He doesn't know any of this for like timings for what Serral's doing, because again, we're just focusing more so on Innovation rather than the group squad as a whole. Now again, we do have combat shields coming up, which is going to definitely give more life to his Marines, and again, it definitely assures us that he is going for that bio play. Well, he's making these 2 medevacs. These, I believe, are the first 2 medevacs in the game. That is correct. And it looks like he's going to maybe try to either do a slight push with that, or to maybe clear up some creep, or at least just make sure his 3rd is nice and secured. And we do have an armory going down, and again, more and more barracks going down for Innovation. Liberators on Serral's natural is not getting a whole lot done. It's definitely being shut down with those spore crawlers as well as the queens. There's the 2 medevacs I spoke about earlier, and he's definitely going to go ahead and send those down the middle of the map with 3 tanks. Let's go ahead and see what he's all up to. Oops. Again, he's focusing a lot. He's focusing right here on that middle. He's trying to make sure that Serral does not get his 4th down. He does spot the observer. He does spot the overseer and these banglings that could definitely make his day a lot worse. But again, he does have some really good target firing. But little does he know he is getting flanked by Serral, and he will lose all of these tanks. And he's pretty much saying, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give up on that. Oh, I stand correct. He's going to say, maybe I can get a queen, and he does get 1 queen for his trouble, and he pulls out with only a few Marines left. That's 7 so far. He's going to go ahead and start running into his 2-2 for his bio upgrades. He's going to go ahead and pump out 1 tank. Granted, he can only pump out 1 tank at a time, and there is that 2nd factory, so he'll probably be pumping out a bit more later. Whew. Well, he's definitely going to go ahead and throw down his reactor, so he can definitely get more Marines out as well. But this pressure right here in the middle is definitely quite deadly for Serral. He's definitely going to need a little bit of luck on that end. But he did spot a Hydralisk pop out, so we know that he's going to go for some Hydras. Granted, he's not able to save these tanks, which is slightly a bit of a disappointment due to the fact he's only producing 1 at a time right now. Hopefully he'll be getting those tank numbers up. But his bio numbers are doing quite well. He's got 31 Marines, 1 tank. Oh, and he just added on added on 2 more medevacs, which is definitely quite good. But other than that, the drone count is at 61 and the SCV count is at 70. As you can see right here, Serral's definitely focusing more on a ground-based game right now with a lot of lanes, a few hydras, and a few banglings and a few queens, of course. Well, he's going to try to go ahead and drop. It looks like he's trying to get into that third, but that was definitely not going to happen with all of those hydras. So he decided to go ahead and go for the main instead. But again, with Serral with all those lings right there, that is not looking like a good time right there. So he's going to go ahead and start taking his fourth, which is really good. And he's, might as well, you know what? I don't see him going to get a whole lot done with that drop up there. Might as well go and clean out some creep on the west side. Ooh, looks like he's going to go ahead and start throwing down more barracks. And indeed, he's got 3 more, and still trying to look for some place to go ahead and throw those drop downs. But he's not getting any luck with that. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and start pulling out with that. But he's making sure that his fourth is nice and secured, and it looks like we're getting a planetary on the fourth, which is quite good. His 2-2 is almost done, and he's going to go ahead and start researching vehicle armor. Looks like he did lose one of those medevacs over there, which is slightly a bit of a disappointment. Definitely lowering that push or harass potential right there. He's also throwing down another CC right there in the center. He saw that ling right there and was like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. And I'm going to go ahead and get that on position. But he is going to go around the north side and try to definitely clean up some creep so he does not have to worry about that encroaching on his base anytime soon. He's also got a little bit of a scout right here. What do we got there? Oh, just a marine. Nothing too big. Nothing too big. Dropping down another 2 starports. Oh, wow. Looks like he's going to go ahead and start going into more of an air game right here, as well as a fusion core. Oh, my goodness. And he's rolling into his 3-3, so he is definitely preparing for this long game. Granted, we're only 11 minutes in, and we actually have not lost a whole lot, as you can see. We actually haven't lost a lot. Only 57 units on innovation side, about 5,000 resources for both. So it's not too bad. Again, drone-wise, Serral is sitting at 87. Looks like he just used one of them to turn into a building. But innovation sitting at 85 SCVs. That is, so he is definitely mining quite a bit. I think I is income. Oh wow, look at that income for innovation. That is not just mules, ladies and gentlemen. That is also the large amount of harvesters that he has. And again, mules also help. We are getting more liberators as well as Widowmine Burrow, so hopefully we'll be seeing a little bit more of a Widowmine play. We got a little bit of a sensor tower going down in the center. Oh, and might as well have one going down on the south side. Oh, and looks like that fusion core was not for battle cruisers. That was mainly for Liberator range. He's also throwing down another armory, most likely for air weapons. Oh, it looks like he's going to definitely lose that push on the north side, and he definitely sees that something is coming from that south. It looks like Serral's doing his patented, I'm going to surround you on a 360 side, and we don't know exactly what's going through his mind right now. He does know that he's trying to clear up the rocks so we can get a little bit more of a progression. But let's see, hopefully he'll be able to get some things done. He does have a decent-sized army right here, with lots of Marines, lots of Marauders, and medevacs galore. He could definitely use more Marines because he's only sitting at currently 23. He is also getting Cloak, so Lord knows where he's going with this tech tree. Serral, on the other hand, is getting an Ultras Cavern, so that is one thing to note. We are 13 minutes into the game, and not a whole lot's actually been done on either side, outside of that little bit of a harass from innovation. Trying to deny a few bases. Other than that, we're pretty much... Looks like he's more in like a passive mood, definitely trying to go ahead and start upgrading. It is 13 minutes in the game, and we're going to go ahead and start seeing our first ghosts, as well as 6 command centers, ladies and gentlemen. Count them, 6. 1, 2 command centers, 3, 4, 5, 6 command centers. That's right, he is going to most likely mule up this entire map, and his income is going to shoot through the roof. He definitely needs to up that ghost production. Granted, he is already maxed. So he's going to go ahead and start throwing down some missile turrets just to go and start spinning out his income. But other than that, he's banking quite a bit. Same with Serral as well. Ooh, but he is pushing up on that north side. We do have a command center going in directly on the south, but I do not think that that's going to go. I do not think Serral's going to allow that. Serral says, you know what? You can go ahead and take that. I'm just going to go ahead and try to take your base out while we're at it. And then on top of that, that thing you got going on in the north, that's not happening either. That Liberator harass, he was a little bit late on that, and we did lose that planetary in the south. Thankfully, he's got another command center raring to go and place that thing down. Gonna go ahead and upgrade that into a... Ooh. Yep, he's upgrading that into a planetary. This harass up here in the main, it's going good, but, I mean, we do have the Plague Bomb from the Viper, so that's definitely going to shut that out. So the Marines and Marauders up there are definitely not going to be able to come home. Innovation doesn't seem too concerned with microing up in that generalized area, but he's like, you know what? I don't see myself wasting that much time. Innovation right now is currently expanding like a Zerg, building command centers and just throwing them everywhere on the map, while Serral is just trying to see what is going on and spread his creep. Let's go ahead and see. He's getting definitely more medevacs. Let's go ahead and see what we've got on the army tab. Innovation is definitely at a weak point right now. He's got 5 medevacs, 10 liberators, 4 siege tanks, 8 marauders, 18 marines, and only 6 ghosts. Currently just going to go ahead and sit back. Looks like he's definitely going for even more of an air dominance with 4 more liberators being added on and 3 more ghosts. Siege tank production has definitely stopped as the factory was removed from Innovation's control tab. Other than that, Innovation looks like he's definitely just trying to make sure that he is trying to secure everything on his side of the map. He doesn't know what the full game plan is. He doesn't know if it's going to be ultras or broods, but he's definitely getting liberators, which pretty much got good against both. So he's definitely just sitting in. I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on just yet, but I've also got ghosts. So, what you got? What you got, Serral? Let's go for this long game. Other than that, air upgrades are definitely going quite well. The vehicle plating is definitely getting up to level 3, and oh, we got a little bit of a Serral attack on the northernmost base of Innovation. It looks like it was just nothing but lings, but that planetary looks like he might be a little bit busy with that. A little bit of changelings. Those are always problematic. I was going to try to see if we can get them all out. Definitely a lot of micro. He's got to be careful. There's something coming on the west side, and he does, on the east side, and he does recognize it as a regular overseer. Not too worried. He's like, you know what? I don't really got anything to do with it. Here, have a few Vikings for your troubles. He is adding on even more barracks, so we're definitely gonna have. His production is gonna be. If anything ever happens to his army, he'll definitely be able to replenish it. He sees that Serral is still going for more of a ling bang with those corruptors and broodlords. He knows those things will definitely be around the corner very shortly, and he knows that he's going to need something to be able to easily get those up. So liberators are definitely not the best choice for him, as you can see him transition more into Vikings. We're also getting the range upgrade to help out with that planetary. To help with those planetaries. As well as building armor, which is always good. Dead south side looks like he's going to go ahead and he might lose that, but he went ahead and lifted the command center just in case. Ooh, looks like we're getting another little bit of an attack on the north side. Let's see what he's going to go ahead and deal with that. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and fall back a little bit, and I'll just go ahead and see what I can get done. I need a little bit more things going on, but while we're waiting, let's go ahead and start building some more Ghost Academies. So we know nukes are going to be in here very, very shortly. He's got 4 more on the way. So this total of 5 nukes. Oh no, this south command center looks like it could be in a little bit of danger, but with all those liberation zones, and ghosts, I don't see anyone taking this area.
Upgrade complete.
Well, as Vikings. Looks like we got more Vikings and more Marauders. Let's go ahead and at least check out how things are looking right here, army-wise. Oh, we got a little bit of an attack right here on the far north, just to see if there's any bases up there or anything. Definitely look really good splits on Innovation's side to dodge those banglings. But as you can see right here, we've got 14 Vikings, 8 Liberators, 4 Siege Tanks, 6 Marauders, 8 Marines, and 9 Ghosts. And I only see him adding even more. And he's already got 1 nuke raring to go. And speaking of nukes, he's got 4 more. And also speaking of speaking of things he's building more command centers. He's like, I can't keep enough. He's like, I can't build enough of these. Looks like he's gonna go ahead and start throwing away these siege tanks for extra supply. I don't see those getting used anytime soon, especially since his upgrades definitely show that that is not gonna go with anything. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the nuke to go ahead and clear out some creep. That was really much the first taste of the apocalypse that we're going to be seeing sometime soon. Level 3 air upgrades are on the way for innovation. Again, more orbitals. Looks like he's got... How many orbitals are we sitting on? What is it? S? No, that's spending. What's structures? Structures is T. Oh my goodness. 9 orbital command centers.
Command center upgrade.
He does not... He will not want for minerals at any point in the game. As you can see right now, 4,500 mineral income. More nukes getting dropped. Granted, that thing was just sacked out thanks to the Viper and Broodlords, but he's like, you know what? It's okay. I've got more nukes on the way. And speaking of nukes, he's even got even more ghosts. Look at this ghost count. He's got 10 ghosts so far, and again, I only see this number going up. And again, more command centers. He is denying this full-fledged mining from Serral right here on the topmost base. These Marines and Marauders are definitely going to be fine. Looks like he's also sacking a little bit of SCVs with 6 going down and 10 drones on Serral's side. Looks like, hey, might as well try to go ahead and, since you're not paying attention, try to snipe out what I can with this air army. Nothing really much going down. Just a little bit of damage, not too much. I don't think Serral's all too bothered by that. But again, we've got more nukes going on the way. We've got more nukes being dropped and 4 more nukes being built. This is definitely not a Cold War, ladies and gentlemen. With more and more ghosts, we're currently sitting at 13. What was that, 14, maybe 15 coming out here soon.
Mineral field.
And he's got an SCV. We're like, you know what? You can at least join in on the fun. Start, go ahead and attack.
SCVs are under attack.
It looks like he is not willing to give up this middle area, dropping down 12 missile turrets in this center location. Other than that, he's doing pretty well. He's definitely playing it quite calm. He's like, you know what? This is my area. These are my orbitals. Stay away from me. And I'll nuke you. That's pretty much all he's got going on right now. Go ahead and again check the Unix tab. We've still got... Oh, wow. We've got a huge attack going on right here on the west side. Everyone just pretty much mutually agreed to go ahead and pull back. We've got 16 Vikings and 8 Liberators, so the air dominance is quite good on Innovation's side, but with 9 Corruptors and 14 Broodlords, as well as all these Spore Crawlers, it's definitely getting quite busy. Innovation's like, you know what? I see you moving. Don't think I don't see you. So I'm going to go ahead and at least give you a present for your troubles. Let's go ahead and drop a nuke. Serral goes ahead and mind controls a ghost, and then it just subsequently just keeps dropping those EMPs. You gotta be careful with these nukes right here so he doesn't nuke his own army. But a few nukes are gonna go ahead and drop down and clear up the creep, as well as maybe kill a few spore colonies if he's lucky. Definitely gonna go ahead and let those finish. But again, we've got 3 more nukes and 3 more ghosts, 4 more ghosts, 7 more. Dag nabbit. 7 more ghosts on the way. He is definitely prepared. He's like, let's go ahead and see what you're gonna go ahead and do. We've got nukes dropping every which way, 5 more on the way. Every time he uses one, he's definitely building a whole nother one. Looks like he's definitely going to go for ghosts, marine, marauders, medevacs, and of course, nukes. He's like, you know what, you cannot have this middle. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop a few nukes. Here's my army of ghosts. See if you he's trying to bait him out with that right there. So if they definitely try to launch on it, they can't find the ghost. They're either gonna get Serral's army is gonna get sniped to oblivion, or they're just gonna get nuked. Innovation's definitely trying to push back the creep, dropping nukes still. Yep. Dropping nukes and just pushing back the creep as far back as he can, as well as making sure Serral's always occupied with something. Got another nuke going down. Serral's trying to spread some creep colonies, trying to get something down to deal with all of these. And all the while, Serral's definitely going at the southwest base. We saw that was definitely cleaned up. Not a lot going on that end of the world. But definitely something going down in middle with more and more nukes getting dropped. Gonna go ahead and cloak some ghosts on the north side. Let's go ahead and check the units production. We have 19 ghosts, 16 marines, 6 marauders.
Mineral field depleted.
Oh wow, you got to be careful right here. He's got a whole bunch of overseers going in. He's like, I'm gonna try to see if I can snipe him with what I can. Looks like he's definitely gonna lose a few ghosts. It's already down to 15. Is that? But the nuke got off, so he's down to 14 though. But even though he lost those, he's going to go ahead and start reproducing the ones he's lost by adding more ghosts to the army he has. Still producing more marines to, again, to help out with the clearing of creeps and harassing of other bases. Looks like we've got a little bit of a lull right here, but more command centers are going to go down from innovation. We are sitting at 10 orbitals so far, and we've got seven planetary fortresses. So he's definitely
Our SCVs
not letting any of that happen.
mineral field depleted.
How many turrets are we sitting with? We're also sitting with 21 turrets.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Serral's army is on the northernmost side, so he's trying to make sure that he can at least make sure he knows where those are at all time. You know, also, again, occasionally dropping nukes in the middle and, again, pushing the creep back. And maybe if he's lucky, trying to hit some of Serral's army right there. He's also got a little bit of a harassing army right here, just to make sure that Serral's not getting any more bases. He knows where Serral is base-wise, and Serral's definitely going to need to start expanding sometime soon, especially since we're 25 minutes in the game. Let's go and hop back on to Innovation and see what he sees. A great EMP from Innovation on those infestors. Those infestors are definitely walking home with nothing on them energy-wise. Granted, that ghost did get sniped. Oh, looks like he didn't get all of them, but he got a large chunk of them. But nukes are, again, still dropping down, pushing the creep back, pushing Serral's army back, giving him something more to deal with. He's a little bit disappointed that that his army on the west side did get zapped by those Vipers and Corruptors, but he's again replacing those with more Marauders and Marines. And again, he loses ghosts, he builds ghosts. We're at 24 of them. 24 ghosts. He's got nukes going on every which way of the map. That north side, he is making sure that Serral cannot get any value out of that base with nukes going down there. Look at all these ghosts right here. Look at all of these ghosts. He's like, I'm going to try to snipe out as many of these Brood Lords as I can. His army is still just backing up with more and more ghosts. We're already at, again, we're already back down to a kind of a reasonable number with 20. But again, he's always building Marines and Marauders as a good harassing force. I think this is a really good build because it allows you to push one base. As you can see right here, he's pushing bases with nukes, and he's using a second army of just Marines and Marauders to push either the creep back or to go for a base to make sure Serral is always pushing on 2 different angles. Maybe 3 if he drops a nuke in the middle, and then 1 on one base, and then of course using his army to go for the second. But again, he's always building more and more nukes.
Are under attack.
Ooh, we got 5 in total. As you can see right here, he's just pushing the creep and spore crawlers back with more nukes. Trying to, looks like he's going to go ahead and cancel that nuke so he doesn't get that canceled. So Serral wants to try to get down a base right here on the west side, but with all these Marines and Marauders, I don't see that happening, especially since his main army is a very slow-moving with Corruptors, Broodlords, and Vipers. I don't see, and Infestors. That's a very slow army. I don't see him getting a whole lot done with that. Innovation's definitely cleared the creep back a lot. Serral's only sitting on just over a fourth of the map with that little square right there. But other than that, income-wise, Innovation's down a little bit by comparison to Serral. He's not dropping the mules as often. Granted, he is sitting at 52. Looks like he did drop a few, and he's definitely, that income's going to go ahead and rise right back up there really quick. Again, more and more command centers getting dropped, probably to replace the ones he thinks he's going to lose. Innovation looks like he's going to try to make more of a stand on the northeast base by throwing down a few turrets as well with that planetary to make sure it's not all alone. We're going to go ahead and get some, trying to get some snipes up there, but those fungals are definitely denying that right there. Also, with Serral constantly grabbing one of the ghosts and trying to EMP the rest of them, Innovation trying to make sure none of that really happens. And again, we've got this side army going in on the west base of Serral. Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, of course. Just making sure Serral's not getting that mining base. And it's definitely showing in the income graph with Serral at 1,900 minerals and only 600 gas income. He's got 63 harvesters, he's got 63 workers, but where are these guys going? He needs more. He needs more bases, he needs more minerals, he needs more gas. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is sitting on a bank of 7,000 minerals and 6,000 gas, with Innovation sitting on 3,700 minerals and pretty much 5k gas. Looks like this right here is going to go ahead and get cleaned up. Those Vipers and Corruptors are making sure those Medevacs cannot get out with their lives. But again, Innovation is of course just going to make sure he's going to replace those and constantly staying with the style of I'm going to push one base with a Marine Marauder army and just use Ghosts to just go ahead and start nuking either the army or a base to pull you out. Brood Lords are definitely not having it there, I'll tell you that much. Again, more command. How many command centers are we sitting at? We've got 10 orbitals, 8 planetaries, and looks like one regular one that maybe just be floating around. We're not sure yet, or if it's considered the one that's being built right now. Again, more nukes being dropped. Hopefully, he's going to try to get this one right here. It's a pretty entrenched position with liberation zones and even a turret being placed down by Innovation. So I don't see Serral being able to push this so much. I mean, he's definitely going to be able to get this ghost right here with those 4 colonies right there. So that nuke is definitely not going to fall. But those Vikings doing a decent amount of damage to those Brood Lords right there. And again, he's like, I'm just going to go ahead and nuke. And again, I'm just going to scan everywhere so you're not 100% sure where I'm nuking. And also, I want to make sure I know where everything is right now. Again, that nuke did drop, and he's going to go ahead and decide to nuke on Serral's northernmost base. He does know that a Nidus Canal is in his base. It's only popping out a few Zerlings, but Innovation's rally point will easily be able to clear that up. Easy one-shots on those changelings. He's trying to get rid of those nukes, and I would not be surprised. That'd be one of my first priorities, is to just get rid of those. But if you don't know, Innovation's F1, in other words, his easy jump point is the area with the nukes right here. So it is quite easy for him to get those out pretty quickly. And he just hops over there, control clicks one, and probably just builds and presses in. Make sure they're constantly getting repaired. Looks like Serral tried to go ahead and with his drones in a little bit early and ended up eating a nuke. Looks like his nuke production, his nukes are fully kind of down right now since he's only got 5 of them. So he's definitely producing a lot more. But again, we've got this side army of just Marines and Marauders just going at that base to make sure Serral does not have that income. And again, it's definitely seen. Look at this income graph for Serral. Serral's pulling in 400 minerals and only 500-ish gas. Well, Innovation's pulling in 1,700 and about 1,100 gas. He's pulling in quite a lot. Serral is a little bit desperate. He needs to get something out of here to try to secure a base. That's really what this is right here, because he knows his income is not going to last with what he has. Hence why he's pushing out with all he has. Innovation, however, making sure that Serral's going to regret that decision by sniping a large chunk of Brood Lords and having all these turrets down. Definitely is going to make Serral regret that. Again, he's dropping on the nuke to the base that Serral is so desperately trying to save and try to secure. Again, he's pushing from all different directions. He's got a middle army right here, again, of Marines, Marauders, and a little bit of Medevacs to help make sure those things are nice and secured. But again, just pushing back the creep, pushing back the spore crawlers. And again, Innovation is making sure this north base does not go down either by constantly nuking it. One ghost, one unit is denying an entire base. Look at this. He's got 29 kills already. While the rest of this army right here is constantly making sure that Serral is kept in check and keeping honest, as well as making sure that one of those bases are locked down as well. Serral knows he cannot push into there, so he decides to go ahead and drop down another Nidus network. Again, Innovation cannot care right now because he's too busy trying to make sure his army is saved, and that looks like that did not work out the way he planned. He's got a whole bunch of Marines and Marauders re-queued up for production. And it looks like we do have this Nidus network, but nothing really came out of it. It looks like it was more of just a distraction for right now. I didn't really see Innovation pull away and look at it. Again, we've got more nukes going down on this north base. And again, one ghost. 30 kills. Look. 30 kills on this ghost. Looks like it's about to go ahead and get a little bit bigger. Serral, on the other hand, is trying to see what he can go ahead and get done. So it looks like he's trying to caustic spray down that planetary. And that's definitely going to go down with the amount of corruptors right there. So he's like, hey, stop killing my base. I'll kill one of yours.
Mineral field depleted.
Granted, that hatchery is very, very low. And Innovation, again, just dropping another nuke. Just going to go ahead and deny everything right there. He does not have the high ground vision to be able to stop that ghost, even with the Spore Crawler going down. And again, Serral's income is quite low. Same with Innovation. It is low, but he already has it's only down because he did lose one of those bases right there. Serral decided to just go ahead and start building some lings, definitely eating into this bank of his. But these lings are doing quite a lot, being able to push back Innovation, going ahead and denying a lot of those missile turrets, and even denying this base up here a little bit. Well, Innovation right there is good on gas. We could always use more money in StarCraft, of course. And let's go and look at the units tab. 22 Corruptors for Serral, 12 Broodlords, and 2 Ultras, 8 Infestors, and 4 Vipers. While Innovation's main army is really just consisting of these 18 Ghosts. Of course, he's got a little bit of a hit squad with 27 Marines, 14 Marauders. These Vikings and Liberators are mainly just used as a little bit of a defense squad. To make sure that Serral's constantly watching out with what he's going to do. It looks like Serral is going to go ahead and drop down another Nidus network, this time in the main base, between the main base and the natural. Again, he's going to go ahead and start freeing up a little bit of that supply, dropping out those Ultras. I think it's a little bit of a mistake for Serral to use that. While I know he wants to go ahead and free up the supply, and it is a little bit, it's freeing up some supply. But you really don't want to go and drop in some Ultras in somebody's base when they're massing ghosts. Serral not paying attention, sending his Broodlords and Corruptors straight into a whole bunch of Vikings. But it looks like it's about to clear off with look at all those parasitic bombs just wiping out the Vikings. Look at those Viking numbers just drop. 12, oh my god, 15 all the way down to 7. And again, Serral is making sure that Innovation make sure he knows that he is the reigning world champion. And he's like, I am not going to go out without a fight. I'm going to deny you with what I have. But I don't know if that was really worth it for Serral. He did lose. I mean, while he did lose quite a bit and do quite a large chunk to the Viking count of Innovation, I'm still quite worried with all of these ghosts he's sending his units straight into ghosts. I mean, the Overseers aren't even close enough really to get those vision. Innovation realizes, though, he is in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to go ahead and start dropping some defensive nukes on his own base. And hopefully, Serral will pull back. Let's go and look at this planetary fortress. At 82 kills, these 85, 88. He's gonna. I would save that. That is a hero planetary right there. Serral is going to go ahead and just pull back. I mean, it did do a lot of chunk to his bank. I mean, let's go and look at Serral's income. Only 1,100 minerals and only 67 gas. I mean, that's not a lot of a bank. Serral is definitely on his way out. So he's caustic spraying as much as he can. He's trying to secure a base, trying to get anything down. It's not that Serral is having the issue with his army or any issues with fights. He cannot get a base down. He really can't. He's sitting at 29 drones comparatively to the 39 of innovation, but he can't get a base. I mean, oh, we've got a whole bunch of good snipes going down right here for innovation, trying to make sure he can snipe out as many of these ghosts as possible, and great EMPs on those infestors. These ghosts and this overseer though is definitely a bit of an issue, but he's luckily was able to go ahead and snipe that out. But a big thing to point out is look at these pure borderline untouched minerals for Serral's side. Even this entire base he's been trying to mine from, it is not going well. He's effectively only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. Only 5 bases this entire game. Look at innovation. He's got one. Look at innovation. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Innovation right here is counting up. He is taking calculus with all this math he's doing, getting all these bases. That is 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And to make matters worse, Innovation's going to go ahead and try to drop a command center to make sure that Serral is definitely starved for minerals. Serral, even look at the production tab. We've got 1 Overseer and we've got 1 Broodlord. Serral is sitting at 125 supply comparatively to Innovation's 193. This is really what we're sitting at, this army supply. It is not looking good for the reigning champion. I mean, 6 Broodlords, 9 Infestors, 12 Corruptors. I mean, it's not good right now. He needs more. Even 38 Lings and 2 Banglings. 2! He's only got 2. He's going to go ahead and start upping that Broodlord production. Adding on 2 more, adding on a little bit more. He's already at 8 right now. So that'll hopefully help him out quite a bit. But again, with all these Viking numbers, 22 Vikings on Innovation's side. It is a little bit of a danger. Innovation realizes this base might be doomed, so he's going to go ahead and drop a defensive nuke and an EMP on those infestors, so he's doing quite a lot. He's going to go ahead and let that nuke finish, pushing back what remains of Serral's army. Again, muling as much of this base as possible, making sure even if Serral does secure it, he's not going to be able to get much out of it. A little bit of a throwaway force right here with, again, just Marines and Marauders. These infestors, again, with very low energy, thanks to those EMPs from these ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, how many are at? We're at 21 ghosts. I mean, that's quite a lot. It's, like I said, it's definitely looking bad for Serral. I mean, even look at the production tab. Only 1 Broodlord, 1 hatchery. Speaking of, where is this hatchery even going down? Looks like it might be going down right there. It looks like, yeah, it looks like he's trying to maybe get a little bit of a long distance or just an extra one. For what remains right there. I'm not entirely sure. But Innovation, look at this income graph right here. I mean, look at this income. That's 500 minerals for Serral. That is 3,000 peaking for Innovation. Sitting around about 2,400. He's pretty much good on gas with that 134 though. His bank does show pretty much 3k gas, so I don't think he's worried about that too much. And he's already maxed. As you can see, that production tab has halted. And this will probably be the final fight coming up here soon for Innovation. Sitting at 200 supply. The only thing going down, a little bit of turrets and a nuke. Looks like, again, Innovation, I mean, Serral's trying to find a little bit of value with a little bit of Ling run by. Innovation's like, okay, what are you going to do? You're going to send 6 Lings at me? And try to distract me? Like, he's like, look, that's not going to work. I'm going to go ahead and send a few Vikings and make sure to clean up these little bit of corruptors right here. But I need to make sure I'm going to just keep doing what I'm doing. Make sure you're not getting these bases. And he's dropping more and more nukes on Serral's economy and Serral's bases that Serral desperately needs to have to stay in this game. With the supply pretty much telling everything right now, it looks like Serral's just constantly trying to deny the inevitable, but you've got to give him props for trying to stay into this game. Even though his income is pretty much just halted right there. 7 workers for Serral. It's constantly getting nuked. Constantly getting... I want to know how many workers have died. Units killed. Army supply. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Let's go and finish. Let's see. Active forces. Minerals. Well, it looks like innovation is definitely making sure that... looks like Serral is definitely putting up one heck of a last fight right here with the Broodlord, trying to push in with what he can. But those liberation zones are being able to make sure that nothing really gets in. There are not enough corruptors to deal with these Vikings, and that is GG. Serral leaves the game. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I really, really want to try to find, I mean, look at this unit's lost tab. I mean, granted, I'm sure it counts broodlings as well. Look at this. Serral loses 1,221, and innovation loses 679. So it's not really like a huge bio ball that innovation was pushing, but he did lose a lot more resources with 82,000 resources lost for innovation comparatively to the 74,000 of Serral. Serral was definitely playing better in terms of the resource game of making sure he's not like blowing his he's not blowing his minerals at every time, making sure he was taking cost-effective trades. But that does not matter when innovation is pulling in this many bases. I mean, look at this orbitals. Look at this orbital list. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know we lost a few, but 12 orbitals and 7 planetaries, and 21 turrets. I don't see him really finishing that. These ghosts really did all this work. I mean, even though that ghost from earlier died, this is 38 kills, or I'm sure it was like, I'm sure this is a different one. Look at this. 38 ghosts. I mean, 38 kills on this ghost right here, and it's just from constantly dropping nukes. That's really like the biggest thing. I mean, even if you look at here, I believe this is the full thing for total. Innovation spent a little bit more on army and of course technology, and I'm sure this counts the nukes that he was just constantly dropping. I didn't entirely count how much he lost, but overall, like, it was quite insane. What he lost overall, like I mean the amount of nukes that was definitely in production. I'm not able to pull up the what is it? Control A maybe. That's worker supply. Units killed. Control R. Look at these worker kills. Innovation 126. Serral 69. Ugh. Innovation kills 901. 567. As you can see right there, it's definitely been quite a pain for Serral. That being said, my name is Panic Picnic. I hope you liked this a little bit of a see-through through Innovation's eyes. Let's go ahead and let's play actually a little bit as Innovation. Let's go ahead and rein it back a little bit actually, and we're just gonna go ahead and rein it back a little bit. At least right before the GG. Right here should be fine. Yeah, right here. I mean, we're sitting a little bit out. We're about 5 minutes out of that GG time. I think I've got a little bit more on it. But let's go ahead and see again through Innovation. Again, we're going to go ahead and get that Innovation victory. One thing that I want to point out about Innovation. Oh, also we can go ahead and at least see. There you go. There's a good little nuke for you. I really want to point out a couple things by Innovation that I think are really cool. I know I did a little bit of a sneak peek from one of my earlier videos, but I think this is quite cool. As you can see, his Control Group 1 is really his hit squad. That's his Marines, his Marauders, and his few medevacs. He's only got 4 with this one. I mean, this is pretty much optimal supply from him. His Control Group 2 is nothing but his ghosts, and he's got 2 medevacs here. The medevacs here are really just to heal the ghosts to make sure they're all nice and top. He doesn't really use like Control 2 like to move everything. He's constantly just splitting up everything, always using one ghost to nuke. He doesn't use it as a it doesn't give it his own hotkey, just to point it out. All of his barracks are on one hotkey. As you can see, I believe he ended up with what's this, 8 right there. That's 9, 10, 11. With 11 barracks in total. These 2 factories, they, as you notice, did stop production. He did make a few Widow Mines early. He didn't get the Widow Mine upgrade, but he didn't really do anything with it. He also does have this reactor still on his factory. But again, these two factories were pretty much silent most of the game, with the exception of when he made a few tanks. Again, with his control group 4, we've got all the starports. These right here are just going to be producing those Vikings and those Liberators that we saw for a lot of the game. Looks like it was definitely more Vikings than anything, as all of his air units are on one hotkey. Granted, they are, I mean, this is when he was definitely making sure everything was right there. But as you can see right here, all of his air are on one hotkey. He's already got them pre-split, so it's just easier when you tag them all in, that the parasitic bombs are not going to do that much. We've got all of his command centers, mainly his orbitals, on his control group 6. So this is to point them out where they all are. I'm not sure he missed one. No, it looks like all of his... Yeah, it looks like he definitely has all of his orbitals on one control group. His control group 7 is going to be to his natural. His control group 8 is going to be to his 3rd. And his control group 9 looks to be to his 4th or 5th base that he took. Now let's go and talk about his jumping positions. In other words, like his camera positions. Now his F1 is definitely his quote-unquote new main base. Even though his main base is this, his main base right now for him is his natural. This is mainly so he can go ahead and click F1, control click, and then just build nukes by just... He's probably got like a click or something. Like, I don't know, just like control clicks and then just holds N down. Or he's got, there is something else that I'm not aware of. His control group 2, though, is for his army's rally location. If you didn't know, his rally location was actually right here with his Liberator. As you can see, that's getting rallied there. His starport is actually rallying on this supply depot. Same with his barracks. They're on two different controls. Control groups for different locations, so we can move them. But all in all, they really are rallying on this individual supply depot. So that's where that is going to be located. Control group 3 is into his main. This is definitely his regular main. I'm not sure what he mainly uses this one for. I guess it's just to make sure that if someone's going to go ahead and try to go in at his production, that's what I mainly see for this F3. Other than that, for F4, I'm not seeing anything. Anything for Shift F5. Shift. Oh, that's my entire army. Shift F6. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of these jump locations other than the F1s, F2s, and F3s. That being said, that's pretty much how Innovation really won this game. I think what really the MVP of this game, with the exception of the ghosts, like with the exception of these ghosts right here, the MVP without a doubt are these hit squads. As you can see right here, there was one hit squad I did not mention, and that was that one right up there. It looks like Innovation just went and picked up quite a few, and then just sent them in that generalized area. Again, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to like why he would send him on a control group. I think maybe he just jumps around every so often. Maybe he's got like a notification alert for him, but I don't think he cares if these die. These are again just like a little bit of a hit squad. Same with these guys right here. But again, the MVPs for this game have got to go to both the ghosts and the hit squads. I think both of those did a fantastic job. And with the exception of this ghost right here, single-handedly denying this base up here. That being said, my name is Panic Picnic. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoy what I do on this channel. And I hope to see you guys at the picnic table. Hope you have a good one. Bye.